At this time, we'd like to get Coach Roberts, if you'd like to give us an opening statement about the upcoming season.
Thank you. Looking forward to this season. I think our guys have worked extremely hard. We had a great off season. It's a great summer program. We had tremendous attendance, work ethic, dedication, commitment, everything we're looking for to move forward for 2016. I think that we've worked hard on our leadership. I think our seniors have provided some leadership going through this off season, and that will carry over in the fall. I think I've said it many times, that I think our coach has done a great job recruiting. And I think we've added all the pieces of the puzzle we need to go compete for a championship. In this conference, you'd better have them, or you're not going to compete for a championship. You better be loaded in the Southland Conference, or you're not going to have an opportunity to compete with it. So obviously, there's a lot more to it than that. And I think you got to add the pieces of the puzzle of leadership, camaraderie, all those things. And for that, I'm excited. I think going in as a staff-wise, I got some new members on the staff. I'm excited about those guys. I'm excited about the leadership they're providing to our players. I'm excited about just everything going into this season. The passion, the camaraderie of the staff, and those things leak over into the players. And I'm looking forward to, again, competing for a Southland Conference championship. And I'm looking forward to getting out there and finding how good we can actually be.
Trey, if you'd like to give some comments about the upcoming season.
Like you said, we're just looking forward to getting back to work. Like, we've been pushing each other all off season. Like, we know, like, what we're capable of doing. And, like, we just know that we got the teammates in place, like, at every position. Like, the depth that we have, then we'll have enough pieces to go compete for that championship.
Juwaan, thoughts on the upcoming season?
Just trying to get back to the old ways, like back when we went back-to-back championships, everything seemed to fall into place. Everything seemed to be, like, back, like, exactly the same. Like, the leadership, like, is stronger than ever, like, in the locker room, on and off the field. So everything seemed to be, like, just perfect. Like, the work ethic, the younger guys coming in, working hard, the older guys working even harder. Everything just seemed just perfect at this point.
We do have microphones on the floor, so if you have a question, please raise your hand and identify yourself and your news agency, please.
Ron Sheldon-Mickles at the Baton Rouge Advocate. I know last year, I think you were 3-1 at one point, and then you had a lot of injuries, things kind of fell apart. Yep. What was that like at the end after winning back-to-back conference titles? How tough was that on you particularly?
That's terrible. It's disappointing that you had an opportunity. We had an opportunity to compete for it. We had an opportunity to be there in the hunt. Don't think we did not put our best foot forward, and we didn't continue to grow and progress when we went throughout the season, and those things will bite you. I think this is a tough conference. You got great coaches, you got great players, you got just tradition across the board, and a lot of the football teams, a lot of universities, and every Saturday you got to show up ready to play your best football. Around midseason, we kind of lost that. I think we lost an edge. Some of that goes in. I've said it many times, probably in the off season, is that one of the adversities of winning, especially like that, winning 2 back-to-back, is that we fought an adversity of getting complacent, and we did. I think coaches, players, I'll put all myself and me, got complacent, think it's just going to happen. It's not going to happen. So we got to go back again and went back to square one. How do we build this thing, and what was the foundation of it on? And I think our guys are bought in and they're hungry, and that's important. You want to be hungry if you're going to reach your best potential.
To kind of follow up on that, how much of that complacency you talked about led to your decision to take over defensive coordinator duties, and how have you thought that process has gone this offseason?
Yeah. Well, I haven't had to yell at myself or anything like that, so I'm pretty good right now. Part of that, again, was me. I wanted to I think there's times as a coach you kind of get stagnant, stale, complete, and you got to rejuvenate yourself. And that's what I knew to rejuvenate myself was get my both feet in this thing, get my hands all over it, and get back in on a day-to-day basis of me coaching on the players and doing that. And for those reasons, I feel about as energized as I've been going into a season. And I'm excited about it. If anything, I know I'm going to have fun. Sometimes you get carried away. I think as a head coach, you do the CEO type stuff, and you're doing that so many times that you get tired. It can wear you out. It can burn you out real fast. And I wanted to get back to do the things why am I doing this job? I'm doing this job so I can coach and get on there with and that day-to-day interaction with the players. So more so for me, I wanted. I mean, if I'm going to get it, if we're going to get the ship right, we're going to turn back in the right direction and go where we want to go. I want to make sure my hands roll over on a day-to-day basis and in with both feet and as deep as I can be.
Along those same lines, you talked last year here about being a target. You know, after winning 2 conference titles, you didn't know how your team would handle it. How do you think they'll handle being maybe lower expectations this year? Is it maybe a little pressure off of them?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think going in right now, there's not the pressure. Getting that third one going in a row, that's difficult. And you know, I don't think we handled it well. I don't know if you're blaming on me. I did not handle it well. Obviously, I didn't because things didn't go right. So I did something wrong. But yeah, right now, let's go back to just playing. Let's go play football and see how good we can get. There's no expectations except for how well can we play and how can we develop throughout this season, from game 1 to game 11, and can we get better on a daily basis and have fun, you know? And that's a big part of it too.
Last year, the injuries really got y'all. How healthy is this team right now, and have you changed anything this offseason, kind of how you approach that?
Well, when you go through something like that, I think you evaluate everything. So we evaluated, strength and conditioning, to how we're, running, all the things, how much we're hitting, banging, so we've manipulated and worked through some things, changed some things in the off season, getting ready. I think we're really healthy right now. We're going to go into fall camp with everybody ready to go, and that's pretty exciting to see. And again, you got to stay healthy. That's part of. I mean, I say this enough is that in the Southland Conference, you got to take care of your business. You better have the players, and you better keep them healthy. If not, you don't have a chance to compete for a conference title. You just can't do it. It's just, I mean, the upper echelon in this conference, I believe, can compete with anybody in the country. And I think that will be the true test for us. We go out game 1, we're going to play against a top 10 team in the country, and it's going to tell us where we're going to sit in conference play. And we got to go out there and prepare ourselves in fall camp for those challenges that are going to head us the next obviously 11 games.
Where are you at in the quarterback decision? Where does Donovan Isom kind of fit in there against Deshae Lander?
Yeah. Well, obviously, Deshae's got more game experience. He started most games. He was hurt and missed 4 or 5 weeks last year. It really hurt his development as a quarterback. When you're coming in your first year as a starter and you're missing 4 or 5 weeks of practice, it's not the game, it's the 4 or 5 weeks of practice. It really slowed down his development as a quarterback. We got a bunch of faith in him, his abilities to run the offense and be a dynamic football player for us. And right now, he's the guy with the most experience. Donovan Isom is a guy, again, that's got all the tools you want in a quarterback. He's tremendously talented. He's 6'4", he's 235. He's got a cannon. He can run. The off the field character, everything's just. I mean, he's top-notch kid. So I think it's a close race. And we have a third one in there. Justin Allo. Spot played just a little bit last year. Didn't play much, but he's got a lot of talent. He's got some great, like I said, leadership ability. For me, that decision on who's going to be that guy is the guy that leads our football team the best. Who can make the other 10 guys around him better? And who's the guy that says, at the end of the day, when he says, when we walk out the tunnel, says, follow me. Who's going to get behind him and who they're going to follow? And that's just, for me, that's the most important part on that position. Who's going to be the team leader that we can rally around, and our players want to play for?
This is for the players, not a completely serious question. I see another new helmet up there on the stage. You guys have a number of different combinations of uniforms. How much emphasis or importance do you put on looking cool out there on the field, looking good?
Well, how we dress, is kind of a big part because you want to look good. You look good. The old adage, like, look good, play good, but it all gonna come back down to what we're doing in practice and getting better. But if we can look good while doing it, we're going to do that too.
Yeah, like the white helmets are nice, so like if we feel good out there on the field, looking good. Like everybody gonna be excited to turn up to the next level and just want to play good. I hope the helmets bring a little more out of everybody else.
Coach, what process do you have of determining week to week what you guys are going to wear? Is there any? Do the players vote? Do you make that decision? How does that work out?
Probably don't put as much into it as you think. Yeah, I mean, some of the stuff's done with marketing ahead of time. If we're going to have a green out and trying to green out the stadium, or we have a gold out, we're trying to gold out the stadium, or we're white out, white. Some of those things are done with promotional ideas in mind as well. And then, in today's world, we're trying to do anything we can to try to mix and match, just to show guys on a recruiting standpoint, we got more. Hey, we got a variety here. And really tried to help us in recruiting. And then we found that obviously if it's one thing notch that we can have that can separate us a little bit and give us an upper hand or equal playing field on the recruiting trail, we want to do that. And I think it's an avenue that's obviously we've kind of dabbed into, and I think our kids have embraced, and hopefully we look good. Got one over here. Okay.
Like I feel even like better than ever. So like with the trainers and the strength and conditioning coach like helping me get back to where I am, I feel like way better than I did before. So I'm 100% ready to go through camp and this season, trying to stay healthy to help my team out.
It's just coming back, trying to do a little more. I mean, with that coming, it's like a title, but it's something that it's nice to have, but it's something that I just look forward to. But it's just like going into the season is like a little more motivation to try to just continue to build on that and try to bring as many players on my team as I can with me, so we can the more people we can get to make that list, the better we'll be.
Well, we've got some new faces in the picture. We got to get obviously brought up to speed on how we want things done. But it's a standard we want to set. Coming in as a program, that's what we expect. We expect to be not one of the best. We want to be the best. So we have set our standards, and I think our guys have embraced that and worked towards it. And we not only want to be one of the best defenses in the conference, but we want to be one of the top ones in the country. And I think when you do that, obviously it gives you a chance to win every game you walk into. And we got some new guys that got to get into that. And obviously that just a lot of that goes with having great players, and they got to provide the leadership for the other guys behind them. You got to have the depth, and then it's 11 guys getting on the same page. And I think our guys are working now. I think we showed some bright spots in the spring. We're not there yet, but I think we got a great chance to be a pretty special unit.
Coach, you lost so much at receiver last year. Just how do you see that position kind of playing out this time around?
Yeah, we're gonna have to count on some new guys coming in there, and then obviously we've got some younger guys that spot play a little bit last year, weren't trusted in some big roles. Brandon Ackers is the guy right now. He's the leading receiver coming back for us, and I expect him to have a big year. Juwaan Smith is a senior. He's going to step up and expect some big things out of him. And then there's some guys that have been J.J. Connor. We redshirted him last year, freshman. out of New Orleans, and speedster runs really well. I think he'll be in there. And then we had a young guy out of Laranja that Jake and Graffy. I think will get a chance to again push for some playing time and push for a job. And then besides that, we have to count really on the newcomers. We got a freshman coming, Jocko Price out of Crowley. That again, as a freshman, he's been very impressive on campus, and we need him to step up in that positions and play well and come in here playing well early. If not, we'll throw the ball to Juwaan.
Yeah.
Any other question for coaches, student athletes? They will be available in the foyer for one-on-one opportunities before they head over to television.